Gotcha, gang! It is Kawaii50 here, and I have been waiting to do this video on my favorite character in the entire Fate franchise, Achilles. We're going to talk about why Achilles is indisputably one of the best riders in the game. I also consider him indisputably one of the greatest characters in the Fate franchise. So good, love him so much. Let's just start talking about him. So if you've pulled Achilles, rejoice, 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 because he is absolutely future-proof. Even to this day, on the app media meme tier list in JP, which is 2 years ahead of us, Achilles is second only to Da Vinci Rider. So he's good, and he's gonna stay good. Why is he good, though? Of course, let's go ahead and talk about them stats. So Achilles has some incredibly impressive stats that cement him as a magnificent, quick AoE farming rider who is able to loop his Noble Phantasm, but on top of that, you can also comfortably use him as a quick crit damage rider with little to no loss in DPS with the right setup. Looking at Achilles' HP, he's going to max out at 13,219 HP with 0 grails. According to the Game Press, that is the 53rd highest in the game. More importantly, Achilles has a massive 11,883 attack, the 19th highest in the entire game. Achilles has some really good stats and a quick arts buster deck. But gang, quick isn't good, you're telling me. You're telling me quick isn't good? Achilles is good right now. With quick, he becomes absurd. Now, I'm talking about Scotty, but we'll cover another time. Let's instead talk about Achilles' skills. Achilles' first skill, and the one you're going to want to be leveling on him if you're going to use him as your main damage dealer, what I have started leveling on him since he's going to be my main damage dealer for pretty much everything going forward, is Dromos Kometes rank A+. This gives Achilles plus 30% quick effectiveness, plus 30% crit damage, and this is on a 5-turn cooldown. I've read these stats at the absolute max level. Achilles not only being able to deal a bunch of extra damage with the stars he's going to absorb thanks to his rider class, but he is also generating a lot more stars on his own. He's of course got that complete quick Brave Chain he's going to be able to pull off, generating an extra bonus 10 stars upon any he generates from his following attacks and his following attacks that crit. And with a 4 hit on his quick card, you're going to be seeing a lot of critical stars from those chains. Achilles' second skill grants him survivability, his least important skill for leveling, but still very good and very synergistic with his third skill. Andreos Amarantos, rank B, gives Achilles invincible for 2 attacks over the course of 5 turns. In those 5 turns, he can get hit twice, nothing's going to happen to him. Also, if something does break through, no worries, he's going to get an extra 10 to 20% boost on his defense for 3 turns. And this is also on a 5-turn cooldown, just like his previous quick skill. Achilles going to be able to tank any and all of them blows as a pseudo tank, and you don't even have to give him another craft essence to do it. Thanks to his third skill. Achilles' third skill is Diatricon Aster Lonki. It applies target focus to Achilles for 1 turn, so enemies are gonna be definitely attacking him. If you combine that with his second skill, no worries, Achilles is going to tank right through those attacks, no problem. And with a 0.57 NP gain per hit when Achilles is attacking, but more relevant to this skill, a 3% gain on NP when Achilles is attacked, he's going to have yet another avenue to pump up those Noble Phantasm numbers to do those NP loops. On top of that, this skill also increases Achilles' NP gain by 20 to 30%. Also, it increases his own NP gauge as an NP charge by 20 to 30%. And this is on a 6-turn cooldown as well. Now, if you're using Achilles as your main farmer, you're going to want to focus on leveling this skill as opposed to his skill 1. A lot of people tend to level them in tandem as a way to focus on that big damage, those big damage loops, use Achilles as their premier farmer, not just for doors, but for pretty much everything that isn't an assassin. Now, Achilles, of course, has 3 passive skills to his name, which I'm going to put up here. The most important being Riding, rank A+, increasing his quick card effectiveness by 11%. Pretty solid passive skills, but man, those active skills, there is a reason, if you look in Achilles' profile, each of them is listed with the little thing in parentheses. This is normally a Noble Phantasm. Achilles' Noble Phantasm is the beautifully looking Troios Tragoidia. This deals damage to all enemies between 600 to 1,000%. I really wish I had that NP2 because that is a 200% jump in damage, but I'm just happy to have Achilles. So we'll take that win. We'll take that win. The biggest bonus of this Noble Phantasm is it increases Achilles' quick card effectiveness for 1 turn by 20 to 60% based on the overcharge. And like all great Noble Phantasm bonus buffs, this activates before the damage is dealt. Achilles can put out some absolutely insane numbers with this. Maybe not now. They're just really good numbers. But they get insane when we get into the servants you want to pair Achilles with. So who do you pair Achilles with to get his numbers from big to absolutely insane? Well, that is going to be Skahawk Scotty when she comes out. She is the premier quick support caster, and she is the catalyst. She is the key that pushes Achilles to the next level and makes him an absolutely insane farmer and insane crit damage dealer. I'm going to be pumping a bunch of Saint Quartz into the gacha to try and get her when she does come out, and you should too. She's very important, especially if you have servants like Achilles, if you have servants like Lancelot Berserker, pretty much anyone that is focused on quick damage, she is the key. If you don't have Skahawk Scotty, if you are too stubborn to use your friend Skahawk Scotty because you're salty that they pulled her and you don't, or if you just need somebody to fill the slot in the interim, Achilles also has a couple of options available there to help support him. You're going to want to focus on maybe Osakabe Hime or Wu Zeishan if you're looking for a specific quick card bonus for him. These are going to be your best servants for focusing on those quick cards. Waiver is, of course, obligatory. I don't even need to go into that. Everyone knows waiver is waiver. As for other servants, you can definitely actually give Achilles Chiron. Chiron, his mentor, really strong support for Achilles. If you watch my previous Chiron video, you know he has some shenanigans he can do with Golden Catches the Carp. Go ahead, follow those shenanigans, switch him out, bring in another supporter to help buff up Achilles even more, and you're going to see some really impressive numbers. So what craft essences might you want to equip on Achilles? Well, as for those craft essences, you're going to definitely want something with starting NP gauge if you're going to be using him for farming. So Kaleidoscope, obligatory. Imaginary Element, obligatory. He is an attacker type servant, so Golden Sumo Boulder Tournament always works on those attacker type servants. Starting NP gauge, just straight up attack boost, very good on Achilles. If you're looking for something a little more specialized, I can definitely recommend that you want to give him a sort of NP damage boost, a crit damage boost, or any sort of quick performance up. So Imaginary around or Gondor, I would say, are your sort of poor man's choices until you can get a much better craft essence. Another great freebie choice for him is actually the Drunk Jalter craft essence, Holy Night Supper. That's very strong on Jalter, and the same extends here to Achilles as well. Overall, I have to say they really did my man Achilles justice. His strength is just absolutely undeniable. I feel like anybody who says Achilles is actually listed just way too high on the tier list and is way too overrated is really just sort of doing it to be contrarian. Pretty much anybody who's run him on JP at this point and is willing to put aside their biases and looks at the solid just numbers and data knows that Achilles is incredibly strong, incredibly worth leveling, and is one of the best riders in the game, hands down. Now, if only only Type Moon could actually do me a solid and give Achilles some more merch, because it is an absolute wasteland out there. I don't have a Nendoroid. I don't have a Figma. I don't have nothing. So DW, you did Achilles good in the game. I'm pleased for that. Thank you. Good stuff. I gave him a lot of money in order to get him. But what I need you to do for me now, give me that Achilles merch. Anyone with some connections out there, you need to pass this on. I will buy a Figma with Achilles' chariot. Even if it's $300, I don't care. I'll do it. As always, I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Praise Achilles, and I will see you all in the next video.